Greetings, YouTube. I was watching a Young Turks video recently. Yes, I know there are people who don't like Young Turks. I understand that. And they were comparing two women that had both been charged with voter fraud, actually found guilty of voter fraud. In one case, a woman was on probation and did not know that she was not allowed to vote while on probation. Um, the district court did not, the district judge did not tell her. The people at the halfway house where she was living at the time did not tell her, and her probation officer didn't tell her. She was found guilty and sentenced to 5 years in prison. Another woman intentionally voted twice. It was a deliberate act of voting twice. She was found guilty. She was given 2 years probation and a $750 fine, and was told that once the probation period and the fine was settled, that she would not have a charge on her record as a felony, because voting fraud is a felony. I want you to take a second, ponder what I've just told you. One woman gets a 5-year prison sentence. One woman gets probation and a small fine. Can you guess what color they are? Can you ponder that? I think you can. That's correct. The woman that got 5 years probation is black, and the woman that 5 years prison is black, and the woman that got probation and a small fine is white. And here we have a wonderful example of how the legal system treats the same crime completely differently. Just imagine if she'd been a white man, he probably would have walked out there with nothing. Our system is biased. It is inherently institutionally racist. It always has been, and unless we deliberately dismantle that institutional racism, it is never going to stop being racist. And that's our problem. There are too few people out there that want to dismantle the bias and the institutional racism. Why? Because it benefits those in power. It disenfranchises black people from voting. You can remember at one point they just wiped out 200,000 people from the registration rolls in Florida because they had names similar to people that had criminal records and weren't allowed to vote. Not the specific people in question. Just they had a name kind of like John Smith without an E and John Smith with an E. You're the same person. You didn't get to vote. This kind of thing happens all the time. Oh yeah, and the woman that voted twice deliberately, the white woman, she voted 2 times because she was afraid that one of her votes for Cheeto would somehow be changed to Hillary Clinton. So not only is she a criminal, but she's really friggin' ignorant. But of course, the fact that she voted for the GOP and is an indication that she's really friggin' ignorant. I guess I repeat myself. Also, the people in power benefit by putting black people in prison. They get free labor. Or labor at $1 a day. Or $2 a day. It's close to slavery. Not quite slavery, but close to slavery. We've been using prisoners to make profit in America for far too long. No prisoner should be required to work, and no profit should ever be generated from the labor of prisoners. Prison labor should be used strictly for the support of the prison itself, and maybe enough money to help pay for the prison itself. It's upkeep. But no profit should be allowed. If you can generate enough money to make the cost of the prison at zero, cool. So long as it's done humanely, so long as it's done completely voluntarily. And prisoners should be making minimum wage. Yes, prisoners should make minimum wage. Now, you could hold that money back. Say you can only get 10% of that every day. Okay, I got no problem with that. They're in prison. But that money should be put aside for them so when they get out, they've got some money. What a shock. Money. So they can actually start their life over again. Because the institutionalized racist system may very well have put them in prison for longer than they deserve it, or at all when they're not guilty. Because we have lost track of how many people have been put in prison in America who actually weren't guilty of crimes because they were black and in the wrong place. In some cases, just black. I can remember one case where a man was found guilty of murder when he wasn't even in the same state. Why? Black dude. They needed to blame somebody. So they did. Go America! Institutionalized racism is one of our major issues in this nation, along with institutionalized misogyny, homophobia, transphobia, religious discrimination, exploitation of the poor. We have a lot of problems in the U.S. But today I'm talking about how our legal system treats black people and white people differently. It's not fair, it's not just, and we really need to do something about it. So, why aren't we?